Dr. Gary, are you on your phone identified as Greg? You could unmute yourself, just double checking. Let me check the messages here. Yeah, Greg, is that you, Dr. Gary? You could unmute if it's you. Just want to make sure I identify the phone properly. Yeah, whoever is listed as Greg, could you just identify yourself, please? I just want to make sure if this is Dr. Gary's phone. I'm asking you to unmute. Greg? All right, are you guys hearing me? Someone could say yes.
Hi.
All right, great. All right, so
I hear you too.
Okay, great. So I have someone listed as Greg on the call. I just want to see if that is Dr. Greg Gary.
No, this is Greg Turner.
Okay, Greg. All right. All right.
Sorry
Thanks a
about
lot. No
You're
problem.
welcome.
All right. So that's Greg Turner. Roosevelt. All right. So we're still waiting on our presenter, folks. All right. So let me just continue with the music.
Why didn't you buy this beat though? Why didn't you buy this beat though?
I want to show you something. This is a practice pad, not this.
Why didn't you buy this beat though?
Folks, we're going to start in a couple minutes. I just want to give you a last minute chance to reach out to anybody that you may have invited, who may have forgotten, but this is going to be a phenomenal call. It's really a really special call, and I'll explain why in a little bit. But if you want to reach out to someone, we'll be starting in a couple minutes, okay? All right then.
Buy
Okay, how you guys doing? Got a little extra sunshine. You know, when you're on the beach, sometimes you got a little extra sunshine. Give me 1 second, folks. Let me improve the lighting here a little bit. Okay, that should be a little better. I can get out of the sun there a little bit. Hi, how you all doing? Great, great, great. We are going to have a fantastic time this afternoon, this evening, this tonight, wherever you are in the world. And as a friend of mine is in the internet world, wherever you are, we are so happy to have you. And listen, we're in for a treat today. So let me do some preliminaries first. I'm just going to make sure we go live on Facebook. So if you have me as a friend on Facebook, you can go there, and also because I'm gonna make this public, so you can go on Facebook and share it also. Okay, so you go to my page, Marlon Thorne, M-A-R-L-O-N, Thorne, T-H-O-R-N-E, and you can also share that on your page on Facebook. So give me 1 second, get that done. You know, I can't do it while the music is playing because that runs into some copyright issues there. I don't know why it's taking so long. Let me just do that again. 1 second, folks. Things are running a little slow today. Okay, that looks better. Go live. All right, I see my good friend and co-host, Mr. Michael Aman, is on board. And we have he's clearing his throat. We have many of our regulars here. All right, and a bunch of new people. Got it. All right. So listen, and I'm going to hit the record button. I'm going to go on the cloud.
Recording in progress.
Excellent. So folks, we're ready to start. We got 55 people on. And just went to 54. Somebody probably didn't like my little goatee here, Mike. So they dropped off. But listen, folks, my name is Marlon Thorne. I am a proud member of GS Partners. I am from the island of Trinidad and Tobago, the Twin Islands of Trinidad and Tobago originally. I'm an island boy at heart, but I've been living in the United States. I don't remember how long, probably most of my life now. But I've kept my accent. I've kept a lot of the traditions of the islands. And one of these traditions is that we have a Tuesday tradition where we have a GS Partners overview presentation. And we do it a little different to some groups. You know, we have a rotation of speakers that come from different parts of the GS Partners world. You know, we have a strong representation from Wealth Builders, of which I am part of that group, under Mr. Eric Toure Mohammed and under Dr. Ty Best. And then we have Michael Aman brings his expertise and his group. He's part of the Synergy group and also GS Caribbean. Also, he leads out a group out of the Caribbean. So we have teamed up together and opened up this platform every Tuesday, right? So you can feel comfortable to bring your guests, to bring your family, even bring your enemies, who knows, all right? And they may not be enemies after this presentation because we keep it nice and warm and light, like how the vibes is in the Caribbean, all right? Cool runnings, nice vibes, all right? So listen, so we are just happy to have you guys. And today is a very special day because we're gonna have a really, really special person within the GS Partners family. Many of us use the resources that he puts out every so often that guide us in our business and in our strategy and in our presentation. In fact, you know, he doesn't charge us, but we use his video presentations to the hilt, to the max. All right, we max it out because they are usually very, very excellent, and they explain what we're doing at GS Partners in a very forceful way, a very intelligent way. That person that's going to be presenting to us is none other than Dr. Greg Gary. So let me tell you a little bit about Dr. Greg Gary. Dr. Greg Gary is known as the people's economist, all right? And he takes the complex world of finance and economics and makes it easy to understand so that you and we can make intelligent decisions. Although he has a degree in economics from Queen's University, he has learned far more in the real world, and so many of us have had that experience. Dr. G, as he's fondly called, is helping people to acquire gold, silver, and the right crypto, okay? The Gold Standard Partners project, of which we are all proud members, is one of the best in the world and is backed by incredible people. So when you have a great project and great people, man, that's a super combination there. Says the people's economist. All right, so that's his quotation. So Dr. Gary is married with one daughter and also pastors a Christian church in Vancouver, Canada. And that was new to me. I didn't know that, Dr. Gary. So that's great information. So when you have an incredible project and it's managed by great people, as Dr. G says, you have an amazing combination. And that's what we have here at GS Partners. All right. So Dr. G, it's a pleasure to have you on the call. But before I turn it over to you, I'm going to turn it over to my illustrious partner, Mr. Michael Aman, the GS lifestyle guru. I don't know if you heard about him, Dr. G.
Oh, yes.
This guy has actually written a manual for the GS lifestyle system. He's known as the computer guy. All right. So
yeah,
Michael, just be a little bit, I don't want to call it, say, a disclaimer, but just for some clarification so folks know what to expect from your presentation. And after Michael is done, then the floor is yours. You have co-host privileges.
All right. So good night and welcome. Thank you very much, Marlon. And please note, of course, that manual is currently undergoing a little update because we have some additional stuff that has been happening. And I think you're going to find that very, very interesting. Speaking about things that have been happening, there's a lot that has been happening in the community as recent as this weekend, okay? And some of us, it's so new that some of us are still learning about some of the updates. What we are doing, folks, we are building an infrastructure. Just as when you're building a house, sometimes you say, okay, this house is in a nice location, it's near a beachfront property, you're already starting to get the breeze and so on. You say, and you're telling people, hey, my house is by a place where I can get breeze. Then you put up a house and it has, you get a bar front, you get other things that's happening. And as time is going on, other things are developing. And that is the disclaimer, folks. What you're going to hear tonight is a little bit of the infrastructure, of the preparation, of you will, for this platform that we are building to launch that's going to serve so many different areas, right? I don't want to steal the thunder. In fact, I take that back. There's no way that I can steal the thunder from Dr. G, right? But just to give you a little highlight, disclaimer, some of the things that you hear may be subject to change. Change doesn't mean bad. Change means improvement. Change means probably another way, but definitely we are going to go different places, all right? But of course, even with that disclaimer, you're going to be blown away by what you hear, all right? So without further ado, right now, I'd like to introduce you to the people's economist himself, Dr. Greg Gary. Good night, Greg.
Well, thank you so much, Michael. Thank you so much, Marlon. Hey, great to see you all. Hey, you know what? If you don't mind, I'd love to see you all. I'm a people person, and I just love seeing people. Can you just say hello? You know, that would really bless me. Thank you, Carol. Nice to see you. Yeah. Hey, Preston, good to see you. And you know how Zoom works, right? You pop on. Hey, Ed, good to see you. Hi, Joanne. Nice. Really good. Elgin, hey, how you doing? Cool. Florette, hi. Juan, am I pronouncing that right? Hey, good. All right. There's Queen Jonah. Hey, I think I met you in LA, Queen Jonah. Did I not? Yes, I did. Melvin, hello, hello. Shayola, you're not on, but hello, hello. Oh, that's great. Thank you, guys. Really good to see. Hi, Becky. Good to see you. Really nice. Roosevelt. Nice to see you. I love your background. I love airplanes. Really good. Hey, good. Okay. Well, listen, I don't do presentations for other teams. I just don't do it. But, you know, Marlon reached out, and you know why I said yes? Because he asked. You know what? And there's our first lesson, Marlon.
Mhm.
How do we get places in life? We ask. So
Yes,
that's
sir.
I didn't choose to say that. I mean, that just came out of me right now. That in this business, what do? We ask, right? We ask.
And
Hey,
Doc,
Elgin, I just want to acknowledge you. I think you're working right now, and yet you've got the commitment and dedication to be on this call listening. That is that brings tears to my eyes, really.
Mhm.
And I also want to tell you guys, you know, I've learned from you already. Example, Curtis, your background, man, I'm like, what's he into? I want to know more about that. I mean, your background is so artfully designed. It's attractive, right? Michael, well, you're already famous in the whole world. We know that about you. Written the manual. Elgin, I loved your Mercedes logo there with the glass. It's like the good life, right? And Ed, Williams, I can't remember why I wrote your name down. Something to do with your background picture, probably. But yeah, so, you know, every time we get a chance to contribute to others, we ourselves learn. And Marlon, even your music, you know, I'm like, oh wow, this is great. Oh, I
yeah,
can't wait to be on the islands again.
that's to get the vibes going, as we say.
Oh, so good, so good. All right, so listen, so I've been named the People's Economist, and I'll tell you why. I'm a very slow learner. I really am. You know, the videos you see, they take hours and hours and hours and hours. And do you know why people like them? Because they're brought down to a grade 8 level. And Zig Ziglar, when I was out motivational speaking, Zig Ziglar taught me, look, don't try to sound fancy. You're just going to lose people, and you're going to make it sound like you think you're better than other people, right? So speak to the hearts and the minds of the people at a grade 8 level so they understand. So I got to break these things down. It takes me, and I tell you, it takes a long time, right? But when the video finally comes out, it's like, yeah, okay, this is going to bless people. This is going to bless people. By the way, update, you know that Joseph ended up in the hospital. High blood pressure. Yeah, high blood pressure, a bad ankle, or something else. But I just got news that we prayed for him this morning. I just got the news, a picture of him. He's out and he's okay.
Thank you for that update, Gary. Thank you for that update, sir.
Yeah, what's that?
Thank you for that update, sir.
That's the update. He's in good shape. He'll be fine. I knew he'd be fine. It was just from exhaustion, right? Those guys were pulling all-nighters, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, also, oh yeah, that's good, Mike. I like your background. Learn to pay yourself first. Really good. Thank you. So today's presentation, you guys, I just got the slides. Okay, and we ran a program just a few hours ago with Helene Walters, and so we ran the slides, and it's like, I don't know exactly what that means. So I'm not here typically like I'd like to be, right? And I discussed this with Marlon. But you know what? What we do on my team, we call it the family call. So we get these slide decks sometimes, like they're 24 hours old, and we go, let's figure it out together. Okay, so you guys, this is a let's figure it out together time. Okay, so for those of you who are new, as Michael so eloquently positioned this, look, this thing is huge. This thing is sophisticated. This thing is lucrative. So if you're new, and new can mean 3 months, okay, don't get overwhelmed. All right. Even Eric Worre, one of the best trainers in the world in this space, said that. He's Mr. Duplication. I was so happy and pleased that he said, look, this is hard to duplicate. Okay, he said it. He also said some other very positive things. But what we're going to do in the days to come is we're going to learn that we're going to duplicate the whole thing, or we're going to take slices. We're going to learn how to identify what people want. For example, I am very excited about the trading. How about you? If you're on camera, let me see your hand, or on text, let me know if you're excited about trading. Anyways, I won't steal the thunder because I've got some slides on that, okay? So without further ado, I'm going to share a slide deck that I've got here, okay? And oh, by the way, Marlon, how long do people typically expect to be on this call?
We go for an hour, you know, in most cases, and
Okay.
sometimes we just keep going.
Okay. I'll try to keep it in an hour, you guys, but as you know, there's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Understood.
so I might end up saying, hey, let's go deep on that later, or we're going to learn more about that. Please also know that Alex Cochendow will be posting tech videos so that we can understand everything. I just got that word as well. Okay, are we good? By the way, was anybody here on this call in Dubai? I'm curious.
Let's see.
Anybody? All right, so none of us. I haven't been there too, but you may have heard of my wife. How many have heard of my wife, Tina Gary?
Yes, well, I had the pleasure of meeting her last year in Dubai.
Ah, okay, yeah, beautiful Chinese woman. So she's there. She's our feet on the ground. So we get a few updates from her, and more to come. More to come. Okay, well, let's get going here.
So Melvin Arnhem said he was in Dubai. Greg
Oh, he was.
Greg
Oh,
McKay,
great.
most likely. Or no,
Okay.
there's another Greg on there. He was there,
Hey,
yeah.
Greg, chime in.
Okay.
If I say something that isn't right, chime in. If I'm like scratching my head, chime in. Greg, I think this means that. Okay. So can we do this together, everybody? Do we have agreement on that? All right.
Definitely.
Here we go.
We are going to do something epic together today. Let me welcome one more time our chairman.
That's the CEO of BD Swiss. You're not hearing it?
I'm hearing it. It's a little muffled.
Yes.
Usually when you share, there are two little boxes. Sometimes if you click on them, but
No, you know what? I didn't do that. Good job.
okay.
Try that again. Let's try that again. There they are. There's the boxes. Thank you very much. Learn.
Okay.
Okay, let's try that again, everybody. Here we go.
We are going to do. We are going to do something epic together.
That better?
Yes.
Let me welcome one more time our chairman of the board.
How do you feel?
Oh my God!
I don't hear it. Are you excited?
On an annual basis, we had over 1 trillion euros in trade.
Our Lydian world, ladies and gentlemen. With you, with us is our world.
Wow.
We are going to do
Okay, so now why can't I see you guys? All right. So you didn't hear the music on that?
Yeah, I heard it.
Okay, it's a nice
It was good.
combination. So the one thing that grabbed me in that video was Lydian world is our world. Lydian world is our world. And the other thought I had, and by the way, feel free to share in the chat, right? You know, when you comment on things in the chat, it just enhances the whole presentation, doesn't it?
Sure.
So, and I also looked at, look what money can do. Look what wealth can do. Joseph has divested himself of all this wealth for us to put on a beyond world-class presentation. You know, I'm already gearing up. I want to go to London. I want to be at the London conference, right? So, all right, let's go back to screen sharing here. And I'm going to go to speaker view. Okay. So here we go. Yeah, this was just for people who won the incentive. By the way, is Babs in your group?
Samantha?
Samantha, yeah.
No, not directly, but she is somewhere in the synergy group with Michael Amanande.
Yeah, well, she's a hero. She's like,
Yeah,
she's a hero. You know, she's so
we call her Talawa.
she's so real, right? And hardworking, and that's what we're looking for here. Okay, you guys probably all know that it's now raining G9s, right? G9s are starting to show up in the back office. 1.5 million every day for 30 days. So apparently we didn't quite hit 6,000. It was something like, and correct me if I'm wrong, Greg or whoever in Dubai, we hit 5,600, 5,600, and GS Partners did the rest to bless us. How about that, right? Thank you, applause, applause. Okay. Card swipes and membership fee commission payouts, they're actually happening from December to March. And I thought, I don't know who's on my team who's even got a card yet, but there must be some. So I popped into my back office and boom, there it was. Now I didn't show the amount on that bottom piece, but I think it's 0.02 something USDT. It's a couple cents, but you know what? When there's hundreds and thousands of those, that's gonna be a nice little income, isn't it? Right?
Definitely.
So this picture really captured my heart. It was endearing, right? This center one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why did it capture my heart? So who's Joseph Haidt? You know, he doesn't have to do this. He's already a billionaire, right? He's done. But he's like this big daddy. I don't know if you've got that feeling. I watch him when he does his presentations, and he's like the proud dad who really wants everybody to have wealth. And this is an iconic picture to me, right? And is that who's that on the bottom left? That's Dawn and
Samantha.
Samantha, yeah. So that's a beautiful picture. And here's some other heroes on the team. You all know Alfie probably, right? And there's my wife, right? And what's her name? Tyla, I forgot her name.
She is out in the Spanish group, yeah.
Yeah, the Spanish group. So
Perla, that's Perla.
Perla, thank you, Perla, right? And there's Nitsa, of course, and there's Alfie again. And this other woman on the left there, she's from UK. Her whole team used my videos to build a team of 600. That really touched my heart, right? On the left there, that's the CEO. And Tina spent some time with him, and she said this: he's a real gentleman and a good soul. Don't we want to keep being involved with people like that? Okay. Now, this woman in the blue here on the bottom, you guys, her name is Lily, and she's been brought to Dubai to learn. She's already in the system, but she's there as a trainer. So she's there to learn the system in depth and convert it into Chinese. So, you know, you guys, when the Chinese get a hold of this, you know what's going to happen, right? So,
Game over.
Yeah, game over. So be on the alert for people from Asia. Okay? Be on the alert for people from Asia. And by the way, you know, the trading platform, they have, it's either 16 or 22 languages. There's a slide coming up that explains that. Okay? So Lily has been brought to Dubai specifically for the reason of providing training in Chinese. Look forward to that. Okay? Okay, so what's new in GS Partners, right? Same deal, 33 USDT monthly, preferred member discounts, member shares. Now, I didn't see member shares on one of the other slides, but I'm assuming we're still going to get those, okay? So we've got new incentive that's called the Life Changer incentive now. And I believe that ends in November. And then we've got the new incentive, which is the $2 million pool, and that goes from now until January. Okay, you can look at those in your back office now. Apparently there's a wrong picture in one of them, but give it a couple days for that to be straightened out. Of course, we've got the new Metaverse certificates. We'll show you those today. New products, BD Swift, will be on June 6th or before, ready and available. And we've got the marketing system called My Triplicator. And there's a company called My Pajamas that is going to be providing that. And it's an automated system. And the South African team has been using it, and they really like it. So it's been tried and tested. And of course, it'll be gold standard partnerized. Okay. So Lydian World, the new income resources. So this is an overview page, and we'll go deeper on some of these. Okay. Mainnet master nodes will be able to go into Lydian World. There's a Lydian staking pool, GSL commissions, and of course the NFT marketplace is launched. That's huge. Let me repeat, that's huge.
Massive.
Okay. Yeah. Minting NFT passports so you can mint your country positions. The Lydian World. So for those who don't wish to come into GS Partners, there's a one-tier payout in Lydian World. And Lydian World mobile app, that's going to happen by the end of May. That's going to be good. I got a slide on that. Of course, Metaverse cities are on sale. I'll show you that. And they actually were burning Joseph's Lydian staters.
Wow.
So basically, he just gave away his portion of wealth in Lydian staters.
And 98.75%.
I don't understand that number. I really don't. But I just know that they said their original issue was too much. You know, they know now in the world of crypto what works and doesn't work. That's why the G9s have been burnt and burnt and burnt and burnt, because Joseph and company inherited a bad deal. And Great Rescue, you know, you all know that, right?
Praise the Lord.
That was a great rescue. We do praise the Lord for that. Okay, so look at how beautiful everything is there. Oh my goodness. If you haven't, when they do the next conference in Dubai, I think it's in December, they put that out. Try to get there, you guys. It's a really, really super cool place. Beautiful, clean, great weather in the winter. Now it's going to be 50 degrees. Cool buildings. It's just first class, and the safest city in the Middle East. Okay? So FYI, and here I won't show another video there. Here's an overview slide of what you're going to see in a minute. Sometimes I repeat things twice because repetition is the mother of learning. That's inside the virtual world, a sneak preview where you're going to be able to own plots in Portugal, and you're going to be able to buy buildings on your plots. You're going to be able to post stores on your plots. Okay. Now, one of the videos I found, I just listened to the words. It was a very short video, and I didn't have a good copy of the video yet. So what I did was I just pulled out the words, because if you can learn to say the right words and embed them in your heart, right? You know, believing it's true. You don't just speak words to attract people. It's got to be in your heart, right? So unlimited income resources are waiting to be claimed, right? Have you always wanted to mine? That's kind of a grabber, right? What do you mean if I always wanted to mine? Yeah, we have a whole new system of mining online. Are you in need of a crypto-friendly credit card? How about grabbing that line? How many people out there are coming into crypto? Are you a trader that needs guidance? Or do you want to be a trader? Are you a developer that needs a place for your project? Guys, when the developers start finding out about our blockchain. And what's the gas for any project on our blockchain? Anybody? Come on.
G999.
G999.
999.
That's right. Would you like to distribute, I misspelled it, profits? Well, maybe some profits will come, but PROFITS. I think I'm just going to leave that in there. That's kind of funny. Profits out of your own NFT shop, right? You're going to be able to sell your NFTs or create NFTs, okay? Already we're at over 350,000 citizens. Design your own building with your own digital architect. Cool, right? How fun is that? Whoever holds the land, NFT shapes the city forever, right? You need NFTs to shape. You're going to shape your own city. So with card swipes, you earn. While you play, you earn. And when you sleep, you earn. So those are some key lines I grabbed out of a video that's coming soon to you. Okay? All right. Now, I don't know why I am not seeing you guys, your picture, but because I like to watch facial reactions. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this, and I'm going to stop share for a minute, and I'm going to find out why I can't see you. Marlon, why would that be? So on my screen, right?
Yeah, when you come off a share, you know, everybody pops up. Mike, you have any idea?
Yeah, when you are doing a presentation, there's a button on the top that says view.
I got the view, yeah.
Right, and you can change your view to speaker view, gallery view, and so on. That's when your share is not on. When the share is on, there are different views you can put there too, but you wouldn't see, because you're sharing the screen, you wouldn't see everyone at the same time, unless you have a split
Yeah,
screen.
I usually see 5 people, and I'll watch.
Right, exactly.
I'll watch the coordinator, and I just, there's something, like I'm a presenter, right? I travel. I like to look at people. You know?
Yeah, I can relate to that.
I'll keep it on gallery, and then I'm going to do a share again, and let's see if I can see people, because I had it on speaker view.
Okay.
Let's see that. No, I still can't see you guys. Just a minute here. Bear with me, you guys.
View options, yeah.
Bear with me here. Huh. Usually happens automatically. Oh well, I'll press on. Okay, I'll press on. Just imagine your smiling face, Marlon.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay, Lydian world. Well, we know it's about asset building, gaming, NFTs, DeFi, which means decentralized finance, and of course our metaverse. And again, I'm always conscious of people who are new to the system, and you will be hearing some of these words for the first time. Look, the way the brain works is you got to hear it, and then hear it, and then hear it, and then hear it, and then one day it all kind of clicks. Okay, so don't be frustrated that this is so much. I don't even know it all yet. Okay?
Yeah, Doc, one quick question. Someone asked, what does it mean to burn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for that question. So let me juxtapose this with the fiat currency system. You know, the reason we have inflation in the world, the reason we have price increases is because of printing. You know, when I was with the gold company, I taught on this for 7 years, okay? The fiat currency, non-gold backed currency suffers inflation. It's because they print and they print and they print, and it devalues the currency, causing, which seems like the prices are going up, but it's just the buying power goes down. In the world of cryptocurrency, when there's an issue of crypto, they can't create more of that crypto, but they can burn it. And burn means we are going to decrease the supply. Well, I'm an economist, but you don't need it to be an economist to understand this. When you decrease the supply of anything, typically what will it do? Okay, so when you have decreased supply and increased demand, what's going to happen to the price? Okay,
It's gonna go up.
It's going to go up. And so we have that situation with the G9s. There is an aggressive strategy to decrease the number of G9s in circulation to a point. And at that point, the G9 is going to be both less than, but the utilization is going to be greater. So I like Ethereum. Why do I like Ethereum? Because it has a use case, right? Contracts on the blockchain. So our coin has a multiple use case. It's gas for so many entities going on in the ecosystem. Well, you guys, that's going to be huge. When all those really start kicking in, it's going to be huge. So they're shrinking or burning the supply of G9s, all the while increasing the utility or increasing the demand for use. Okay, and they've done the same for our Lydian world cryptocurrency. Okay, so they've chosen to shrink the supply so that the price will go up, right? So original adopters are going to be blessed. Okay, all right, let me keep going here. So the master nodes, you're going to be able to put them into Lydian world. Okay, so, and it's going to distribute coins. So as it's in the system, so some have master nodes now. Okay, and what's happening is they're getting paid in G9s, paid in G9s, paid in G9s. Whatever your node is, you're being paid in G9s. That's how the system works. Well, you're going to be able to put it into the system, but not only is it going to pay you, it's going to pay Lydian world, everybody in that country. Okay, so that's what I like about Lydian world, is everything we do, it's going to bless you, but it blesses the whole community. I think that's really cool. It's not socialism, because you're doing the primary work and you're getting the primary blessing, but it's community, because a portion of that goes back into the system. And that's a recipe for success in my opinion. Okay, so 2 phases for completion for masternodes going into the countries. You get 20 days after the voting phase, and then you're going to be able to put your masternode into a country. Okay, now let me see. This is the second time I've gone through these slides, you guys. Okay, yeah, and by the way, you can do this in community. So you don't have to be the one that puts in the full load, okay? So example, so I have some master nodes that are maturing, and I'm gonna decide, okay, am I gonna keep my coins or am I gonna put them into the community? Well, likely I'm gonna do both, okay? But if you don't have a master node, or if you're new to the system, you can partner up with other people to fill a node, okay? So that's, again, another form of community. And by the way, if you don't, if you're trying to do that with your team and you don't hit the right amount, your coins will be returned to you, okay? Note, once the coins are loaded, they're locked in forever, okay? Now, you also get a residual income forever. Now, what is that residual income amount? I don't think it was said on the slide. I think it's 6.75%. Can someone correct me on that?
Yeah, I heard that today on it says
Yeah.
Okay.
I confirm that too.
6.75? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So normally it'll be 7.5%, and that's traditional master node, but 10% of that is being shared with you. Well, you can take it from there.
There you go. Oh, okay.
90.
That's it. Good job. Okay. So normally it's 7.5%, but 10% goes back into the nation. So you're getting 6.75%. Well, how are the banks doing right now? What do you get when you get money in? Right? I often start up my other presentations, or maybe you've seen my videos. I put up that slide of, it's called Manulife Bank here in Canada, and they brag about they're going to give you 1.5% per year. Right? Okay, so that can be a nice stream of income for you. Okay, now Smithy pools are a Lydian stater staking pool. Okay, So you'll be able to stake. What's staking? Well, many people are staking their G9s right now, right? You're earning a percentage off of staking, and we like staking because it's liquid, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you can collapse at any time. Okay, so the Lydian stater staking pool is one of the most efficient Lydian Lions generators. So it's going to generate Lydian Lions. Well,
wow. And so you can acquire more citizenships with the Lydian Lions.
Thank you very much. That's great. Exactly. So Helene Walters, if you don't know that name, she's right underneath Nakos, and she's quite brilliant, actually. I have the privilege of associating with her daily. But she says it's your Lydian Lion mega generator, right? Because I don't know about you, but in times past, I've been a little stressed that I don't have enough Lydian Lions. I got to get more Lydian. Well, I got to buy more NFTs. Well, okay, so this is going to be a way to generate more Lydian Lions. And Lydian Lions is the internal coin to Lydian World. It's only used inside Lydian World. Okay.
Doc, you know what I think is happening? Tony DeGovea, he's playing in your head. He's in your head somewhere. So you know what he says all the time?
What? Yeah.
If you think you have enough G999s, you don't. If you think you have enough Lydian staters, you don't.
Yeah. Now we're going to add Lydian Lions to that too, right?
Yep.
Okay. That's good. That can be your mantra now, okay?
Yes, definitely.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So you are able to stake the Lydian staters for 36 months, and each deposit being treated independently, having its own start and end date. So let's say you put in $500 worth of Lydians. They're locked in for 3 years, and the pool rewards can go up to 56.4%. We might have to work together here in the next few minutes to totally understand that, okay? So one of the questions that we didn't answer yet is, let's say you put your Lydians in and they're valued at $1,000, okay? So are you earning a percentage off of that initial 1,000? Or if those staters go up to 2,000, is there a correlate increase in your percentage payout? Well, I think there should, but I'm not sure yet. So we're getting clarification on that. Maybe somebody knows otherwise. I'm looking at my phone because Helene was going to go after Nita for that answer.
Yeah. Yeah, I think since we're dealing with cryptocurrency, when we're talking about interest, it is not on the value of the crypto, but on the base amount of the crypto. So if, for example, you have, let's say you have 5 Lydian staters, then the percentage will be on that 5. The value of it may go up or down, but it's based on the 5.
Okay.
It's the same way when we're dealing with the G999 master nodes and staking as well.
Right.
It's based on, not on the value, but on the quantity.
Very good. Very good. Okay. But the important thing too is that you are putting those staters in, and at the end of 3 years, regardless of what the value is, you're going to get them back. So if they've gone up to $5,000, each one of your staters is going to be worth $5,000. You won't get back your base amount.
Correct.
Right? It is allowed to bloom in those 3 years. Okay. All right. Okay. Now this is where it gets murky for me, you guys. So you're going to have to jump in if you know the answer. Okay. Pool-based reward, 14.8% yearly. You're able to stake the Lydian staters for 36 months. And we already talked about this line, okay? So load NFTs and boost your APY, okay? So additional rewards every year, boost extra up to 8% APY, okay? Now, if you understand that, jump on, please.
As we say, as Ty Beth said, it's more.
Okay, way to go, Ty. We'll go with the Ty answer. You get more. Okay,
you get more, right?
You get more. Yeah, we'll get. And again, when I get my slide deck done, it'll be so clear you won't even have to think about it. Okay.
All right. So if I may, I can actually speak to something up to this, right? Remember, the Lydian world is open to the world.
Right.
It's not just open to the GS Partners community, okay? So if you go back one slide, the base amount for anybody who decides to participate in this pool, right, would be, what is it, 14%?
Let me see here. Yeah, 14.8%.
14.8%. However, for persons who have the membership NFTs, remember we would have gotten membership NFTs that were that they didn't cost anything to mint, right?
Right.
However, if we load our membership NFTs, it means we're not just a Lydian World member. We're a Lydian World member with a membership NFT from GS Partners. And our base amount will be increased by 8%.
Yeah, we were having trouble determining if it was 8% based on what, though? You know, was it one NFT? Was it a series? And I think somewhere here it comes up something to do with 12 months worth of NFTs, right?
Monthly.
Monthly.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
Again, we'll get clarification on this. Okay.
Okay.
All right, and you are able to get out of this, but there are penalties, which we will see. Yeah, here it is here. Unlocking the deposited coins is not forbidden, and you can cancel. However, the penalty for locking is 14.8% in year 1, 18.8% year 2, and 22.8% in year 3. Now, why are we glad about that? Right? Because we want the crypto off of the market and locked, right? That's one of the plays that helps a cryptocurrency to go up. So we want to encourage people to invest their crypto into whatever the entity is, to take it off the market, right? To reduce the supply. Okay. All right.
Just a note on the side. We maxed out the call at 100 folks, 100 people.
Say that again.
I said we maxed out the call at 100 people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
By the way, I found out with this system, because I didn't want to pay because the membership because I've got a 100-person membership too. I had one, and I had to increase it because I do this youth program across Canada, and it was way over 100. You can just pay monthly. If you just want to boost it for 1 month, you can pay it monthly. So it's quite economical that way, FYI. But it's a little hard to find. Okay.
Yes.
Because you don't want to turn anybody away from these times, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Good. All right. So why should people become an affiliate? Well, all the rewards are if you're on the team, if you're a member, right? You're in a community. You've got the tech team helping you, right? That's why we become affiliates. So how do you become an affiliate? Part of the Lydian.world Telegram group, get a citizenship, and away you go. Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about the NFT marketplace. Okay. Created to enhance the experience of Lydian World, comes with features like listing, buying and selling NFTs, and all these fees that are generated goes back into isn't it amazing? We're just everything they're doing, it's going to go back into Lydian World. Who's the recipient of extra wealth? Us. Who's the recipient of all these extra G9s? Got in early? Us. Right?
You see somebody, okay.
Yeah, you can.
Mike,
I'll wait.
yeah, Mike, is that you? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, go
sorry.
ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if you're going to use the NFT marketplace, so you who were involved in the XLT real estate, tokenized real estate program, you would have already set up MetaMask. Apparently Wallet Connect, and I haven't dealt with Wallet Connect, is a little bit easier, although my wife Tina followed the MetaMask guidance video, and I forget the gentleman that did that, but he did a great job. Really clean, clear, simple. So you'll want to set that up if you're going to be involved in the NFT marketplace. Okay. Now, yeah, so this one, these slides here just explain how to do that, but I'm going to let that video do the work. You can, I don't know if you've got it on your team already.
Okay, it was done by Stephen London Morris.
Yeah, really nice, clean, clear teaching. If you know him, send him my thanks and accolades, because you know, it's not easy being a good teacher.
Good. And he actually does you know, does some work with Bruce Hughes out of he's part of Well Builders, but he does Tech Tuesdays with Bruce Hughes.
Yes, he does. By the way, my wife met Bruce in Dubai, and you know, Bruce is a fine gentleman and human being.
Yeah, he definitely is.
And we are blessed to have him, because he too is very good at taking the technical and making it simple. And he uses great metaphors. In fact, sometimes I'll take his metaphor, I give him credit. I take his metaphors and I put them into my videos. They're so good, right? Because this is a whole new world, right? And so how does the brain work? The brain works very well through comparison. So if you can compare something that you already understand to a new concept, it's the bridge that can help you understand that new concept, okay? All right, so minting NFT passports. First step will be to permanently mint your unique citizenship position on the blockchain. And you can do that. You can do that on your position page under your Lydian World account. So look, you're just gonna have to go in there and start playing around with it, getting to know it. That's the only way. It's really hard to explain all this. So there's a funny story floating around now. One of the smartest guys, I forget his name, he started messing around with the system, and without knowing it, he let one of his countries go. And who picked it up? Johnny B. Scott picked it up for $5. So remember when the XLTs went on the market, people were accidentally selling their XLTs for $8, $6, $4, right? So if you don't know what you're doing, like, roam around, but don't press buttons unless you absolutely know what you're doing. Get help, okay? You know,
just a quick question. What is the upside or the value of minting your NFT or minting your citizenships, which is the NFT passport?
I heard this morning that you don't have to mint your citizenships unless you're going to be putting them on the for sale.
Right. So this is an asset now that we can actually sell, if, according to Tony D.I.G.A, if we need to buy some bread or butter or some milk.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Well said. I know you knew the answer to that, but you were helping the field by answering a leading question. Good job. Yeah. So all your countries are NFTs. It doesn't cost anything to mint them, and of course your countries, I mean, but your NFTs, of course, cost you, but they're going to be in demand, aren't they? Right? On some of my other videos, I've posted what these other platforms are selling their monkeys for, or their whatevers. Are you confounded? I mean, I'm confounded what people are willing to pay for a computer generated graphic. But you know what?
Hey,
so be it.
Yep.
If the world wants them, and we have them, right? I'm also looking forward, everybody, to the time where we can mint art NFTs. You know, you have a good piece of art and you'll be able to mint that. You'll be able to post that. You'll be able to sell that online. I think that's coming. Okay. Yes, that's more on loading. I won't get into that technical side of it here. Yeah, so in the same way as you do stocks, in the same way as you do cryptocurrency, when you're listing, there's spot price and there's auction, right? So you need to take control of what you want for what you're selling. You need to know the market, right? So you can set a minimum bid or you can set a fixed amount, okay? All right, lasts for 28 days, okay?
Cool.
All right, let's see here. Fees and rewards on NFT marketplace. I think I'm gonna just skip through this part, you guys. You're gonna see it again, but again, what we see is rewards going back into Lydian world. More, as someone says, it's more, okay? All right. The mobile app, as I said, will be ready by the end of May. And listen, what's it gonna be like for you? You go to Starbucks or wherever you go, and you're able to show someone your Lydian World app. Is that going to help your business? Sure it is. It's going to be fun. Hey, what are you doing? Oh, I'm in this metaverse called Lydian World. Right now, I'm just I'm selling something in one of the houses I own in Portugal, right? So they're going to go, what? What is that? Right? So it'll be a really fun way to introduce people to this. Okay. All right, so this is so Portugal won the voting contest, and I heard from Elaine because she's involved with that team, and they all did a community thing. They combined together, and in the last, they had it all ready, and in the last 5 minutes, they launched, and they ended up beating the other teams, so they got to be the first to launch the city. Okay. So what this slide shows everybody, and this is how Alex did his calculations, FYI, again, I know you don't need to know how the car engine works to drive it, right? But in case you want to know, here's the world population, 7.9 billion. Here's Portugal's population, 10 million, right? And there's 221 million crypto users in the world. And he got all of this, all of these stats here, where it says worldometers.info.world, okay, population. So how he did the calculation was Portugal population divided by world, well, that's going to give you the percentage of the world population that Portugal is, times the number of cryptocurrency users. That's where he got that 289,000 citizenship limitation. Okay, so FYI, if you want to know, there's what's going on in the back scenes. Okay. All right. Somebody look at this slide called Tuvalu. And what do you notice about it? Anybody?
It's sold out.
Whoa. Really? Wow. Who would have thunk? I don't know about you, but in the beginning, I wanted to know how many citizenships are there and when will they be sold out? Well, guess what? It's happening. So I don't know. Do you think Tuvalu might be worth more in the days to come? Sold out? Demand? Well, we'll see. We'll see. But they are selling out. So it's like anything. It's arrive early, get in early, and you're going to be blessed, right? Taking advantage of what's going on. Okay. All right. So yes, it was called the mystery box and Portugal won. So you're going to see a lot of action happening in Portugal, in Sweden, and French Mayette, because Sweden is going to be the second nation where they open up a city like they did in Portugal for land plots, and then French Mayette will be next. Okay, that's what I'm told. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I heard someone bought up all the beachfront property in Portugal already.
You know who that was?
Yep, I know who it is.
You heard it this one?
He's a pretty smart dude.
Was it John Johnson?
No, it's Tony.
Oh, Tony D.I.G.A. Yeah, that's what I heard the two. Yeah.
Yeah, for his family is from Portugal. That's his ancestry.
Oh, I didn't
intimidating. And the reason why I say that is because tonight we're going to talk about blockchain. We're going to talk about cryptocurrency. We're going to talk about NFTs, the metaverse. We're going to talk about some terms that may be new to you and may sound a little intimidating. I know a lot of people are intimidated. Folks, it's no more intimidating than Starbucks. It's just different names for things that you're already familiar with. You're already using a debit card and it's digital money, right? So these are just new terminology. So don't be intimidated. Breathe easy, and we're going to explain some stuff to you, and you're going to find out it's not nearly as difficult as you may think it is. And why are we going to talk about that? Because there's three things that we're going to answer three questions tonight. Number one, why is it important that you learn about this? What we're going to share with you tonight. Why is it important? That's the first question. Number two, does it really work? Is this real, or is it some scam, or is it some get rich quick scheme? Like, does it really work, right? That's really important to know. And if it does work, can you do this? Because if you know why you need to do it, and it does work, but you can't do it, well, that's not going to help you. So you got to know that you can do it as well. And we're going to share with you why, what it is, why it's important that you know what it is. Number two, that it does work. And number three, yes, absolutely can do it. And why? Let's get to the first question. Why do you need to know this? The reason why you need to know this is because right now we are at the beginning stages of what is the greatest transfer of wealth in history. If we rewind the clock back to 1929, following the Great Depression, that at that time was the greatest transfer of wealth in history. And why? Because there was a great problem that needed to be solved. There was a run on the banking system. And the people who provided the solutions got incredibly rich. And that was the beginning of the industrial age. Right now, that was just in the United States. Right now, we are at the Great Recession. And we're also entering into a new age, but at this time, it's not the industrial age. This time it is the digital age. And so the people who provide the solutions are going to become incredibly rich. And so that's what, and this time it's global. It's not just in the United States, it's worldwide. And what are some of the problems that we're needing to solve? Well, they have to do with money. And in fact, if you're paying attention and you're watching, you're hearing about crypto and blockchain and NFTs and metaverse and these things, right? You're hearing about this stuff. In fact, even the banking community, who was bad-mouthing crypto for the last 12 years, all of a sudden, after COVID, did you get those people that are coming in? After COVID, all of a sudden, now there's this shift, and banks are all starting to slowly move into the blockchain space, into the crypto space. And do you think they're doing that because they like it? No, they're doing it because they have to, because they felt that their power is waning. And there's a saying, it has to do with government, but you know, banks are really tied to government. And that is, you've heard the saying, so if you can't beat them, join them. Well, when it comes to banks and government, they don't use that saying. If you can't beat them, join them. They have a saying that says, if you can't beat them, lead them.
Babs is on.
Oh, can you turn on the, okay.
I can request it.
Okay, request
Hang on.
closed captioning, and I'll turn that on for her and her folks.
There you go.
Okay,
Hi,
we have some folks in the deaf community that have joined us, so we had to turn on the closed captioning.
Hi, Babs.
Hi, Babs. So, so the banks are starting to make this shift because they are losing a little bit of their power, actually a lot of it. And in fact, Warren Buffett, who is famously quoted as saying that Bitcoin was rat poison, even he's made a shift. And it's interesting because now he's starting to eat his words. He said that investors who invested in cryptocurrency are basically, fools. I recommend don't doing that. And it's interesting because even today, he's still talking trash about crypto, still saying that it's a bad investment. However, and he also says, I don't own any. He stands by what he said originally. I don't own any crypto. But if you look at what he's doing with his money, he just recently pulled out over $1 billion out of Visa and MasterCard and put it into Nubank, which is a digital bank. So he doesn't own any crypto. He just owns the banks that own the crypto. So yeah, that's interesting. Morgan Stanley, another big money mover that we are familiar with, James Gorman, who is their CEO, he was the one that said that Bitcoin didn't quite deserve the attention that it was getting, which is interesting because he also said if we thought that Bitcoin, and we're not here to talk about Bitcoin, but it is the #1 cryptocurrency and it is the one that's everybody's most familiar with. But anybody who thinks it's going to be stable is kidding themselves. And in spite of that, and that was 2 years ago, in spite of that, isn't it interesting? Now all of a sudden they've had a little bit of a change of heart and now they're offering cryptocurrency to their wealthiest clients. And I think now they're offering it to everybody. I don't know that for sure yet. But you're seeing a trend moving. How about this? The mayor, Francis Suarez of Miami, was the first mayor in the United States in the city of Miami to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. That now you can pay your taxes in Bitcoin. You can, if you're a city employee, you can receive your paycheck in Bitcoin. Countries now are getting on board. You might have heard that El Salvador was the first country to accept Bitcoin as legal tender. And after doing so, after adopting that, they had their first ever double-digit GDP for the country. And they are now welcoming crypto investors and crypto digital businesses into the country, and they're starting to grow very rapidly. And other countries that are looking into this as well, in terms of Japan, Germany, Switzerland, Singapore, Malta, Argentina, even India, which just months ago, it was illegal. And now they've changed their mind, right? That's because they're going to tax you on it. Bank of America, who happens to be, they happen to be the bank that owns the most crypto patents. They said that the stable coin adoption of the CBDC is inevitable. What is the CBDC? It stands for Central Bank Digital Currency. You know what that means? Central Bank Digital Currency. That means that means they own it, they control it. I want you to keep this in mind. When you hear the word central, that bank, that means it's controlled by somebody else. That you don't control the money, they do. So centralized, bad. Decentralized, good. Remember that, write that down. Centralized, bad, decentralized, good. And now not all centralized is bad. It depends on who's controlling your money. If my mom's controlling your money and it's centralized, you're good to go. But you better like and trust the people that you're operating with if it's centralized, because they have the power to control it and manipulate it how they see fit. In fact, Joe Biden, President of the United States, passed an executive order, or wrote up an executive order, and to have 18 government agencies look into adopting a digital currency for the United States, a DUSD, digital US dollar. And it may have a different name by the time they get around to it. But what does that mean? That means government controlled money, where they control the money. And also that had a lot to do with a lady who was the former chair of the Fed. Her name is Janet Yellen. She did a flip because she's been bad mouthing it all along. And now all of a sudden, now she is the Treasury Secretary for the United States. And now she's saying, you know, maybe this crypto thing isn't so bad after all. Remember what I said? If you can't beat them, lead them. Now all of a sudden it's just, maybe that's not such a bad idea after all. And now they want to lead the charge. And as I mentioned, we are in, history is repeating itself, and we are creating a new revolution, the digital revolution. Now, here's what I want to say about this. I mentioned when we first started doing this presentation several months ago, that there were over 12,000 cryptocurrency projects out there. Today, there are over 18,000. Which one should you get in? How would you know, right? Here's the thing. Whether you want to or not, whether you like it or not, whether you understand it or not, mark my words, folks, you will be using cryptocurrency in the next 5 years. You will.
Yeah.
The only question you have is, will you be using government centralized cryptocurrencies, which is bad, right? Centralized bad, or will you be using decentralized, where you control your money, your own money, where you're in charge and in control of it, and you can move it and take it anywhere you want, whenever you want, without any limitations? That's the only choice you have. And this is what Don and I were faced with back 2019, 2020, we had a few financial setbacks that were unexpected that kind of hit us pretty hard. And then COVID hit, and we had to try to figure out, like, what are we going to do? We got to figure something out. There's got to be a better way to do things. And we started looking into this. I went out looking for a mentor. I spent 5 weeks looking for a mentor. Wow, my phone is blowing up. What is the deal? And the light keeps flashing. And I ran into this guy here. His name is Brian. You just saw him. And I did a little bit of research on Brian when I first met him, or right before I met him, actually. So I knew about him when my phone rang and it was him. And he's like, "Hey, bro, what's up?" That's how he talks. I'm just saying.
That's exactly how he talks.
"Yo, bro, what's up?" And he goes, "My name is Brian Cromley." I said, "I know who you are." He goes, "You do?" I said, "Yeah, you're the golden rock star. I heard all about you." But I found out that he was a member of the 7-Figure Income Club. He was quite successful in the business he was in at the time. What I didn't know, and I found out later, is that Brian was living in a tent about 6 years prior to that. And he went from living in a tent within 6 years to earning that large income and moving into the penthouse, which is the top 2 floors of these condos near Sarasota, Florida, which was about 10, 15 miles from where we were living at the time. We lived aboard our boat in another marina about 10, 15 miles away, and we meet for lunch. And we go to meet Brian, and he says, "What can I do for you?" And I said, "I want you to show us how to do what you've done. I want you to show me how can I create a 7-figure income in the next 7 years?" And he says, "I'll tell you what, if you will do what I do, if you will just follow my lead and copy what I'm doing, I can show you how to do it in less than half the time." And that sounded a little bit, dare I say it, too good to be true. That's what I was feeling. It sounded too good to be true to me. But I had worked in show business for 30 years, driving for rock stars. I retired about 6 years prior, 5 years prior to that. And one thing I know about wealthy people is they don't say things sound too good to be true. That's what broke people say, which tells you where I was in my head at the time, right? Because that's what I'm thinking. But what rich people do, or wealthy people, what they say is, "Show me how it works." And they don't necessarily believe you, but they don't disbelieve it, right? They believe anything's possible. Just, I want to see show me how this works, right? And so I bit my tongue, and I didn't say it sounds too good to be true. I said, "Show me how you do this." And he said, "I will, but that's a big goal. A big income like that, if you've never done it before, that's a big pill to swallow. And 3 years may not sound like a long time, but guess what? After about 8 months, 12 months, 16 months into it, it's going to feel like a long time. So let's do this. Let's build on some successes. What is the thing that we could do in the short term that would change your life, that's a lot more attainable, that not such a ridiculous goal, but something we could build some successes on?" And at the time, I had taken a job about a year and a half before meeting Brian. I had taken a job for the state of Florida, for the Department of Transportation, as a bridge tender, opening up this bridge in Longboat Key, Florida. And I told Brian, I said, "If you could get me out of that job, that would be life-changing, right? Right, just that alone would be significant." And he said, "If you do what I ask you to do, and you follow me, just trust me and follow me on this, I will have the income from that job replaced in 3 months." And again, my gut, that almost hurt worse to hear that than that I could make a 7-figure. Why? Because 7-figure I didn't necessarily believe. But replacing my job, it sounded like that is attainable. And if I don't do that, if this doesn't work out, this is gonna hurt. Kind of like when I met my wife. When I met Dawn, for the first, I don't know, several weeks, I kept pinching myself. It's like, if this sounds too good, she sounds too good to be true.
He was waiting for the bottom to drop.
I was waiting for to find out that she, had a basement full of dead bodies or something. I like, she seemed perfect. And turns out that she was almost.
Aw.
And so, but it sounded too good to be true. So I like, okay. So I believe Brian, we sit down and we talk. He set out a plan. What do we need to do? And he sets out a little plan. What do we need to do next? So we come back to our boat. We're sitting on the boat. We're talking to each other. And we were getting ready to do another Zoom call or Facebook Live or something like that. And as I'm getting ready to hit the button, my amazing wife was
Doing what I'm doing right now.
She has to keep my grammar straight. We had met them. In fact, we invited them for dinner one night. Actually, 2 different occasions. And they turned us down. And then we found out why.
Because they're liars.
Because they're liars. Because they were telling us that we're going to fix up the marina. You're going to love living here. It's going to be amazing. And that was nonsense. They never had that intention. What they wanted is they didn't want us leaving before that they were ready, because they needed those rents every month to show that the bank that this was a good loan. And the day they closed on escrow was the day they sent these letters out to all the liveaboards in the marina saying, we don't know where you're going, but you ain't staying here. And it couldn't have happened at a worse time, because in Florida, WTF, right? Welcome to Florida. It's snowbird season. And what that means is the people that live up in Michigan and Ohio and, Illinois and up where it starts getting cold in October, they all start coming south to Florida because it's summer all year round here, right? So if they got the financial means, they're coming down. Well, not just the landlubbers, but you know who else comes south? The boaters. And what that meant to us was that there was no place to go. There were no vacancies anywhere. There was no liveaboard slips to be found. And so everybody gets this notice at the same time. All the liveaboards in the marina, they all scatter and go try to find no place to live. In the meantime, Don and I got left behind because our boat hadn't gone anywhere in 8 years. 6 years that we owned it and 2 years prior with the previous owners. Our goal was to fix it up and go sail around the world, but we found a different style of boat we wanted to buy, and somebody wanted to buy our boat whenever we decided to sell it as is.
Glorified floating condo.
We had a glorified floating condo, very romantic, but it didn't go anywhere. And so I go to my job and I turn in my notice, my negative 10-hour notice. What I mean is when he said, when's your last day? And I said, yesterday, 10 hours ago. And I told him what our problem was. I got to fix the boat. It doesn't run. We're getting kicked out, blah, blah, blah. And he was so I go back to the boat and I start working on the boat and we spend about $7,000. There's a reason for this story, guys. So stay with me on this. What is that? What's the saying? Wait for it. Wait for it. And so I go back, we spent $7,000. I lived on with the diagrams that were hidden all over the boat, on owner's manuals, YouTube, God bless YouTube, and phone calls. I was able to rebuild the top end of the engine, and I was able to fix a lot of the other things on the boat so that this boat could go someplace. And so I got it all fixed up. And now here we are on our boat, our 43-foot spindrift, and we are heading south rather. We did find a marina. It was 75 miles south of us in Punta Gorda, which is where we now live. And so we're heading to this new marina. Here's the thing. That marina now is twice as expensive as the one we just got kicked out of.
Yeah.
And they want first and last month rent and a security deposit. So now that's about $4,000. So all in, we just spent, between fixing the repairs and this new marina, we just spent $11,000, which just so happened to be the last $11,000 we had sitting in the bank. We are now completely broke. I haven't had a job in a month at this point. So we're completely broke, no job. We're heading south to a new marina that's twice as expensive as the one we just left. And we head out, we get into the open waters of the Gulf of Mexico. And how exciting is this? We are in an untested boat with an untested engine, rebuilt by an untested mechanic, me, and I'm not a mechanic, with an untested crew, because we'd never sailed anywhere by ourselves. We'd always sailed with friends on their boats. They break it, they bought it. But never anywhere on our own boat. And we left at night. We left at 5:30 at night because we had to leave during the daylight hours, but we had to arrive in the daylight hours because you got to see where you're going, right? So, which meant we were sailing all night. So we did everything you're not supposed to do.
All of it.
All of it. But we made it. Nobody died. We didn't drown. The boat made it all the way to our new home, almost. When I tell you we were broke, we didn't even have enough money to fill up the fuel tank, and we ran out of fuel about 200 yards from the dock, from our slip. This is Thanksgiving Day, about 18 months ago. And we're arriving at our new home. We're out of money. We run out of fuel. But remember, we've got this friend. Well, he wasn't a friend at the time. He was this guy we met. This dude we met who said, "Oh, don't worry about it, bro. I'll have your income replaced in 3 months. You'll be fine." Except for we don't have 3 months. We've got 5 weeks. This is Thanksgiving Day, January 1. We got rent due on an expensive marina. We've got insurance due for the boat. We've got phone bills due and the likes. So, right. So we got all these bills due, and we don't have any money and no job. And I tell you this. Oh, wait, one other thing. That company that Brian made all that money with. Oh yeah, he don't work for them anymore. He left. He's going to start with a new company. Notice I didn't say a different company. I didn't say another company. I said a new company, as in brand new, as they weren't even existing at the time. In fact, I asked him, well, where can I find some information on it? Well, I don't have any. Well, where's the website? Oh, they don't have one, but it'll be up next week. What is it? Well, it's a cryptocurrency. It's a blockchain. Awesome. Where can I find information on that? He goes, well, they don't have any of that yet either. Well, when can I see that? Next week? No, that'll be a couple weeks after that. And this is how we started. And I tell you this story, guys, because we're talking about blockchain and cryptocurrencies. We're talking about the movement of money. We're talking about the greatest transfer of wealth in history. And when you start talking in those terms, you're going to attract people with money. You're going to get people that come in with 50,000, 100,000, 200,000, $1 million or more that want to get on this wave. There was a saying I heard this week that was amazing. And it says, find out where people are going. This is the key to success. Find out where people are going and get there first. And that's what the wealthy do. If they figure out what are the trends, where is this heading, and they work to get there first. But that's not everybody. There's a lot of people that maybe aren't wealthy, but they're paying attention and they're trying to get there first too. And they may only have $5,000 or $10,000 to get started. That wasn't Don and I. We were flat broke. And I mean broke. I mean, today on Thanksgiving Day, as we're coming into this marina, we had $22 to our name. In fact, our Thanksgiving dinner that night was Arby's chicken sandwiches. And now we're flat broke. And we've got bills due in 5 weeks on January 1. And we're starting in a new business. Oh, not today, a week from then. See the boat stopped? We ran out of fuel right there in that canal. People are walking by. You need help? Doop-de-doo. Looking like a dork.
On Thanksgiving.
On Thanksgiving Day. And it was a powerful day because that's where this all started. So we started on December 1st. And it didn't take us 3 months. Thank God. We actually paid all of our, by December 23rd, I know this because I wrote it down. It was on Facebook. I posted about it. On December 23rd, all of our bills for January were paid. And from that day to this, we have not gone back to a job. We have been free from a job that entire time. This has been our full source of income. And I mention this because there are a lot of people that will make a lot of excuses why they cannot be successful. And I'm here to tell you, if you are willing, if you are coachable, and if you are hungry, and God knows we were hungry, we were desperate actually, it does not matter because we started from absolute zero and replaced our income and have not gone to a job. And since then have grown our wealth so much so that we just got to spend a week in Dubai. And if you follow us on Facebook, you'll see what an extravagant time we had. That would not have been possible before. And so, does it work? Absolutely. It works 100% of the time with 100% of the people who put in the time and never quit. Now, not everybody's destitute like us. That's just our hard luck story. Maybe you have one that's similar. But here's the thing. Why is this important? How about this? Even if you're not struggling, what inflation right now is being reported by the media and by the government at 7%. Does that look like 7% to you? We just filled up the car just now. It's a little bit less than this. It was $4.29. Does that look like 7% to you? These aren't even these are numbers that are being reported. Yeah, right. These are if you're living on bread, these are not the numbers that we experience. These are the numbers that the government's reporting. Dawn will tell you, and she pays attention to everything. When she goes to the grocery store, if the eggs go up 3 cents, she knows about it. Like, she's got a memory and she knows the prices of everything. And she says that our food bill, I don't know what these numbers, she says, when I'm paying the bills, when I'm going to the grocery store, she says our grocery bill has gone up about 20 to 22%. And does that look like 7% to you? Any of this look like 7% to you? And here's the thing. Prior to COVID, 78% of workers lived paycheck to paycheck. 64% will retire broke. 25% have zero savings, none at all. And there's something that almost all of us have in common, not us any longer, and that is the golden handcuffs. That they have an employer that tells them what to do, when to come in, when they can take a lunch, when they have to be back from lunch, when they can go home. Oh, by the way, I need you to come stay late tonight. I need you to come in on Saturday. You are owned about a half to 3/4 of your life is being controlled by someone else. Why? Because if they control your money, they control you. It is paid slavery. It is paid servitude. And that's what we're here to solve. And that's a lot of bad news. I know that's a heck of a way to start, but I wanted us to recognize and get us all on the same page that we are here to solve the same problems. And so I don't think you can talk about a problem without providing a solution, but I don't think we can provide a solution without knowing what the problem is we're trying to solve. And so that we're going to shift gears. And I want to ask you this. Do you know what Netflix, Uber, Airbnb, Zoom, and Amazon all have in common? They are all disruptors. And what is a disruptor? A disruptor is an individual or a company or a technology that once you adopt this new way of doing things, you're never going back to the way it used to be. For instance, you're never going to go drive 10, 15 miles across town to go rent a DVD for $3-4 so you can drive all the way back home so you can watch your movie so you can take it all the way back and return the movie. Why? Netflix, live streaming, Amazon Prime, live streaming. You don't have to. I can watch a movie. I don't know where my she's got my phone. You can just watch a movie right from your phone. You don't have to go anywhere. That's what a disruptor does. And why is that significant to us? Because Joseph Haidt is our chairman of the board. He is a disruptor. He's a visionary, an entrepreneur, and a humanitarian. And he saw what was happening with the economy. He saw what was happening in the digital world, in the crypto world. He saw what was happening with people's finances and that the poor and the middle class were getting completely wiped out. And he wanted to provide a solution. And you may have heard his name. You may have seen, they've been talking about it on the news quite a bit lately. You're going to hear a lot more that's happening.
Right.
Or you may have heard about the G999. What the heck's that? The G999. You may have seen a video somewhere online or YouTube or from the news media. Back in 2020, Joseph announced that they were going to revolutionize. They were going to be the disruptors in the crypto space, in the blockchain space, in the digital banking space, in the banking in general space. Was met with a lot of laughter and a brunt of a lot of jokes. But they're not laughing anymore because it's real and it's happening. Or you may have seen a billboard somewhere in the world. This is Reuters building in New York City, Times Square. Familiar with that? Back in 2021, June 26th, actually the marketing company for this project we're working with, the marketing company was launched in Dubai, and that's what Don and I went to. And it was the official kind of public display of G99. So you may have seen G99 someplace and like, what the heck is G999? That's what we're going to talk about today. And since we're talking about cryptocurrency, and we're in the crypto space, one of the things that I always ask people is, do you have cryptocurrency? Because they'll, yeah, what do you do? I'll say, I'm in the crypto space. Oh, that's interesting. Do you have any? And they'll say, well, yeah, I've got a little bit. My mom's got some, or no, I've been thinking about it. I love the one they go, I've got, Shiba or Shibu. I got Doge. I'm like, awesome. What does it do? And they have no clue. They don't know what I'm talking about. What does it do? It's crypto. Okay, and what does it do? And they don't know, what is its utility? They don't know what I'm talking about. And I'll say, what gives it its value? And they usually perk up because they go, oh yeah, Elon must have tweeted about it, so it must be awesome. But here's the thing. Just because a billionaire or an online influencer tweets or makes a YouTube video, that does not give it its long-term value. What that does is it makes it popular. Y'all know what popular is, right? You remember the mullet? That was popular. Remember 80s hair bands? That was popular. But that doesn't mean it's going to last long term, and thank God for some of them it doesn't, right? No, what gives crypto its long-term value is its utility. What does it do? What can you do with it? And what does utility look like? This is utility. Utility is the GS group, right? Gold Standard Group. It is a conglomerate of companies with products and services, financial products and services, all designed to make your financial life easier, faster, better, more economical, right? That's what, and it's all powered by the G999 cryptocurrency. And just to give you a little overview, GS Bank, you know what a bank is, right? GS DeFi. DeFi is just short for decentralized finance. Remember what I said earlier? Centralized, bad. Decentralized, good, right? So DeFi is just decentralized finance, GS DeFi. GS Trade, that's just a trade exchange. You know what a stock exchange is? New York Stock Exchange, London Stock Exchange. Well, cryptos have an exchange. GS Trade happens to be the one that the Gold Standard Group actually owns. GS Partners is a marketing company, sales and marketing. That's just one leg of companies. We have a gaming platform within the thing Lydian world. We're going to talk about that in a minute. And GS Lifestyle Card, which is a crypto MasterCard that you can use anywhere MasterCard is accepted, at ATMs, at the gas station, at 7-Eleven, at Walmart, wherever, right? Any place that MasterCard's accepted. And now, because one of the things that crypto's had a problem, why has it not become mainstream? Because it's complicated, it's time consuming, and it's expensive. It's expensive to get in, it's expensive to move, it's expensive to get out. This card allows us to do that really fast because the soccer mom, they say that the soccer mom, like she controls the economy. Your mother controls the economy, whether you know it or not, because she's telling the husband what we're going to spend money on, what we're not going to spend money on. And so, and they do spend a lot of money, right? So she doesn't care about crypto. Well, you know what she cares about? Can I swipe my card and put food on the table for my family? Can I swipe my card and put gas in the car? That's all she cares about. And up until this point, it's been very difficult with crypto. And that's what the GS Lifestyle Card for, is to make it really easy. And then Lydian World. Lydian World is doing a facelift right now. So I could talk for an hour and a half, or I could talk 6 hours probably, about Lydian World. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to spare you. What I want to do is I told you at the beginning, I want to show you why this is important, because it's too much to consume in one little 1 hour talk. So why is it important? Let me share with you this. What is Nike, Starbucks, Coca-Cola, and McDonald's all have in common? They all have this thing called gamification. And what is gamification? Gamification is it's an implementation of game elements into non-game activities. That's basically what it is. So for instance, what does the game element of buying properties in McDonald's or accumulating properties in McDonald's in the Monopoly game, what does that have to do with hamburgers? Well, if you ask McDonald's, it has a lot to do with it, because for them, it increased their profits 40% the first year that they implemented. It's one of the longest programs that they had ever had running. Gamification, it helps companies. Well, what it does is it makes you want to participate. That's the basics of it. It's like, how to get people more engaged coming through the door. If they come through the door, the chances they're going to buy some fries, they're going to buy a Coke, all right? They're going to buy a burger. If they buy a Coke, they're probably going to buy a burger. If they buy a Coke burger, they're definitely going to buy a Coke, right? It's to increase profits. But it's not only to increase profits, it's also to create awareness, which eventually lead to profits. Duolingo, Dawn and Brian both are actually learning Spanish through an app called Duolingo, and they use gamification. It's a point system, and it's give you rewards for so many days in a row, and how long you stay on, and how many things you get right, and all that. And that's what gamification does. And why is that important? Because the play to earn business model is the future. I want you to think about this. Right now, the gaming industry is a $198 billion a year industry, and it's estimated that by 2026, it's going to be a $545 billion industry. That's huge. Give you an idea, there are already a couple platforms out there. There are actually several, but one of the most popular are Decentraland, which experienced a 2,000% growth over 48 months. Axie Infinity, 10,000% growth in the last 12 months. And then another platform called Upland. If you've not heard of Upland, what that is a virtual real estate game where you can buy virtual real estate and earn it's called UPX, that's their money inside of it. And then you can convert that into real money, and you can make real money and become a real estate tycoon. I guess it depends on how you use the word tycoon. If it's tycoon and making millions in the virtual world, in their world, it's going to probably translate to thousands of dollars in real money, but it's real money, right? Well, Lydian world is making Upland look like child's play in terms of what it does, how it works, and what it's producing in terms of income. One of Reddit's co-founders, Alexis Ohanian, and this is important, said that the play to earn crypto games will be 90% of the market in 5 years. So what that means is that $545 billion industry that we're talking about, 90% of that is going to come from gamification platforms. And why that's important is because that's what Lydian World taps into. Lydian World is a virtual world where you can own a citizenship in a country and earn a passive and residual income off of that citizenship. It's also going to have real estate in it that you can purchase real estate and buildings and open businesses within it, a true metaverse. There's not one like it right now. There's a lot of people have been talking about the metaverse and what it's going to be, but there's not been a true one until now, and that's what Lydian World is. And so think about this. What if everybody loves saving? Isn't that fun? Isn't saving so fun? That's why we all do it, because it's so much fun. No, it's not. It's boring. And that's why most people don't. We should do it, but we don't, right? But what if you could put a game element into like savings? What if that were a game element? What if creating wealth, accumulating assets, growing assets, producing additional income? What if creating wealth was a game that paid you in real money? And we're not talking chump change. We're talking money, enough money to live off of. And that's what Lydian World's all about, where you can actually acquire a citizenship of a country and earn a passive residual income. And I'm going to give you one example. So if you look at, let's compare this to the physical world. So the physical world that we live in, you all know what a CD is, a certificate of deposit in your bank, where you put in a large sum of money for like a predetermined amount, a year to 5 years, right? And you say, I'm not going to touch it. In exchange for that, your bank is going to pay you some ridiculous return, right? And that's why you do it. You're like, okay, I'll do that. I want to show you what this looks like in the digital world, because this is similar. It's different, but it's similar. There are mining certificates within Lydian World that you can put, and basically you're staking up some amount of money of cryptocurrency, and you're agreeing to leave it there for a period of time, a year, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, whatever. And for doing that, they're going to pay you a higher rate. I want to show you, now these numbers are not accurate, so understand that we've had a big change and update. Lydian World 3.0 is coming out, but just to give you a rough idea how this works, I want you to look, Don and I, and this is a real example. This is not hyperbole. This is what's happening in real time right now. So Don and I purchased a tier 4 certificate. We've recently upgraded it to a tier 5, so that now the numbers are way different. But just to give you an idea, on a tier 4, when we first got it, $37,000, $37,144 was put into this certificate in digital assets. Then what happens is we ended up at the end of 3 years, no, 2.5 years. It's now 3 years because it's tier 5. It was 2.5 year period of time. Look what we got back, or will be getting back. And we are getting back on a monthly basis. That is a profit of $73,574. So we put in $37,100, we got $110,374 back, some of it all at the end, and then some of it over a period of time. And I'm not going to explain how that works here, but just see that that's a $73,000, $574 profit. That is a net return of 197%. And my question is your bank paying you 197%?
And now we have some new ones out there.
that are even better. Yeah. No, your bank isn't paying you 190. Is your bank paying you 7%? Is your bank paying you 0.1%? The answer is no, no, and no. No. You know what? According to the FDIC, you know what the average bank account is paying, and at least in the United States, 0.06%. That's what you're getting. If you're getting more than that, if you're getting 1%, you are killing it, because that's not what most of them are paying. What if you got a CD? Like, okay, I'm gonna put my money in the bank, and I promise I won't touch it for a year or so. And how about 5 years? I'm not going to touch it for 5 years. They're going to raise they're not going to pay you 0.06%. They're going to pay you 0.34%. They're going to pay you 1/3% on your money. Wow. Doesn't that give you chills? Right? Give you a real life example. This is a friend of ours' bank account. You'll notice it says First National, screw the little guy at the top. That's not the name of the bank. That's just what they're doing to him. I made that little graphic to cover up the Wells Fargo logo. This is actually his bank account in December. And I want you to look at how much money he had in that account, $30,000. Look at the interest that he gets every month from $30,000, $3.26. And by the way, he doesn't even get to keep all that because he's got to pay taxes on it. Oh, and wait, that's not every month. That is his year-end statement. That $3.26 represents 12 months of interest on that 30 grand. Now, when he showed us this and we were talking to him, he said, what do you suggest I do? And I said, I can't suggest anything. I'm not a financial planner. He goes, I know that, but what are you doing? And I said, that I can show you. And I showed him what we were doing. I showed him at the time we had these community notes. They only pay 12%. Like what we have now is way better. But at the time, that's what we had, right? This is program we were in. It was still developing. So look at this. He put in $25,000. And you know what his return was for 12 months on that? $2,376. Now, let me ask you, would you rather put in $30,000 and get $3.26 back, or $25,000 and get $2,376 back? If you say you'd rather have it in the bank, we can't be friends, because I can't be with people that are not that bright. I'm just being honest. Now, you don't know me. I could tell you anything. I can talk for the next 10 years. And I can tell you how amazing this, how many lives we've changed. And that means nothing to you. You know what will mean something to you? When you find out for yourself. See, you can sit from your safe place and you can go research, and you're going to know absolutely nothing, because you're going to hear just opinions. If you want to know, does this really work? There's one way to find out. The one way to prove it to yourself unequivocally, and that is to get in the room. You can find, like, what's Don and Lucky's relationship like? You want to know what it's really like? Come live with us. You can sit there with your binoculars. You can look over the fence. You can look between the blinds. I wonder what they're doing over there. Are they selling drugs over there? They're always too happy. They're too happy. They got to be doing something illegal, right? Right? You're not going to know unless you live with us, right? Well, the same thing is here. You know how you're going to know? By experiencing it yourself in real time. So what I'm going to suggest you do is we're going to cut through the chase, and we're going to make this real easy. You need to get back with the person who brought you to this presentation. They're going to give you their affiliate link. You're going to sign up for a free account. It costs you absolutely nothing. And why do you want to do that? Because that's going to give you access to the entire gold standard ecosystem. The entire gold standard group ecosystem is good. You want to get the lifestyle card, you can get in there. You want to get into NFTs, you can get in there. You want to get some G99s, you can get in there. You want to get into Lydian world, you can get it. Everything that the gold standard group has, you can get it with your free account. Now, I'm going to suggest you do one more step. I'm going to suggest that you activate your account by getting a $33 membership. And why do you want to do that? Well, how about this? Are you new to blockchain? Or maybe you're not new. Maybe you just need to brush up, or maybe you're unclear about a few things. We have a blockchain academy that you're going to go through. It's a series of videos, and you're going to learn about the blockchain. What is Bitcoin? What is Ethereum? What's the difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum? What is NFTs? What is staking? What is master nodes? Like, you're going to find all of that out with that. That's worth $33 right there. The other thing is you're going to get a 10% discount. And why is that important? Well, let's go with our example. We bought a tier 4. $37,000 in, well, what if I got a 10% discount? You mean I got $3,700 discount off the right off the, don't want to spend $33 to get $3,700 back. We can't be friends. That's another reason. Partner incentives. This guy over here, Brian Cromley, our last incentive, June 26th in Dubai, he won an incentive, paid him $1 million on stage. That was from this partnership bonus. Dawn and I, we didn't do so good, but we were new. We didn't know what we were doing.
We didn't do so good.
We only got $15,000. Wasn't even hard to get out, worth getting out of bed in the morning. Oh, 15,000, all that, that's it. What a joke.
Not even worth getting up for.
Right? But that's, and what is legacy points? Just think of them like frequent flyer miles.
Right.
You don't know what really you're going to do with them quite yet, you know, like, but there's something you just don't know. That's kind of what legacy points are. We didn't even know until at the end of that incentive. And then all of a sudden they go, oh, by the way, you can do this and you can get all these situations. And we got into Lydian world and like, wow, that was amazing. So that's why you want to, that's the other thing. And then also there's some income generating opportunities. But here's the thing. And I want you to think about this. Other the reason why the $33 membership is so important is because we have it's a referral program that for every single person that you introduce that decides to set up an account, they want to get G99s, they want to get legacy points, they want to get into Lydian World NFTs, you're going to get 15% just by referring them. Like I know Amazon has a referral program. It's an affiliate program. They pay 6%. So if you sell a skateboard or a camera, you get 6% of that. We don't sell skateboards and cameras, but we do sell solutions to people's financial problems. And we get 15% just by referring them. And you don't have to do that. But if you don't, we can't be friends because it's wait, when you're making money, look, I'm just telling you, you will. When you're making money, you cannot keep your mouth shut. I'm just saying.
Can't be friends.
I just can't be with people that don't get it. Now, and here's the other thing. We also don't get paid in fiat though. We get paid, if you'll click, and number one, Bitcoin, number two, Ethereum, cryptocurrencies in the world, the Tether, which is the number one stable coin in the world, and G9999 cryptocurrency. You're going to get paid in those currencies, which is awesome because they generally are going up, 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 up.
Or a dip today. So we earned the dip.
Or you earn the dip. The price goes down and then you earn in the dip, which is better than buying the dip.
Yes.
And here's the other thing. Like any other affiliate program that's out there, Amazon or Commission Junction or any of those programs. Well, what was that? We don't have to wait 30 days to get paid. And we don't have to wait every 2 weeks or every Friday to get paid because we get paid in real time. Every time somebody signs up and gets an account, we get paid. Every time somebody gets NFTs, we get paid. Every time somebody gets G99s, we get paid. Every time somebody gets legacy, we get paid in real time, instantly. If you were to go to Brian Cromley's back office and watch his paycheck, it's like watching a Las Vegas slot machine. It just ching, ching, ching. In fact, we didn't tell you this. We talked to somebody who has a personal connection with our CTO. We're trying to get him to put a little cha-ching sound every time it goes, cha-ching, cha-ching. We want a little noise in our back office. Right.
I know.
So
yours would never shut up.
All right, so let's wrap this up. So this is why you need. So number one, why do you need to know? I think it's obvious why you need to know. This is the greatest transfer of wealth. You can be on it or you can get left behind. You will be using crypto one way or the other. You're going to be using your own crypto and making money, or you're going to be using somebody else's and being controlled by it. So that's why, yes, you need to do it. Number two, does it work? Absolutely. It worked for us. It works for every single person that does what we do. Just as it's worked for us, we did what Brian told us to do. And so it works. Can you do it? Absolutely. Now, this is for everybody. I don't care if you're flat broke or you're a multi-millionaire. This is for, well, it's not for everybody. It's only for people who use money. So if you don't use money, this is not for you.
And then we can't be friends.
And then we can't be friends. But if you use money, this is for everybody. Now, somebody had asked me or asked Dawn and I, it's like, is this how you were able to get financially free? Yes and no. Yes, we use these, but see, we didn't have assets to begin with. We had to accumulate assets. So one of the things that we did, what we've just shown you is how to leverage money. But that's not how Dawn and I started because we didn't have any money to leverage. So what we had to do is we had to figure out a way to leverage time. And the only way we could do that was through getting involved with GS Partners, which is a different company altogether. GS Partners happens to be the sales and marketing arm. And what they have is a mentorship program. So if you're looking for a business mentorship program, somebody to teach you and show you how to create wealth, we can show you how to assemble a marketing team where you can not only earn 15%, but you can own 50% of your entire organization down 9 levels. And so for those of you who are maybe looking for a side income, you're looking to replace an income, you're just looking a little cash on the side, this is an option that you might want to look at as well. And this is how we did it. And so with that, I want Dawn, will you come up here?
Sure. Is it time?
I want you to share with people, because I've showed you why you need to know this. I've showed you that it works. And I want you to share with people, can they do this? Come here, Shorty.
All right. Yes. You want to know how easy it is? Well, it's pretty freaking easy. So this is how this works. First of all, just let me ask you this question. How did you end up here tonight? How'd you end up here tonight?
I invited myself.
Brian, he says he invited himself. That's it. It's invitation. Everybody that's here was invited by somebody. Everybody that's on this call was invited by somebody. What do we have? 30 some odd folks in the room. Somebody invited you. That's how you found yourself here. This is it. Brian taught us this. Dr. Ty Best, he preaches the same message. Keep the main thing the main thing. This is the main thing, right? Yep. No matter what else is happening, you just do this. Now, what are you inviting them to? To a Zoom call, to get together with your friends where we're going to talk about how to grow appreciating assets, all sorts of appreciating assets, and have fun doing it with our friends, right? Well, this project is huge. There's no way that we can talk about all of it. And even if we talked about everything that was offered, it's changing and expanding so fast. Would you admit that person, please? Somebody's coming in. Mm-hmm. It's changing so fast that this is constantly evolving. And people are coming in at all different levels and abilities at the same time. And so there's no way that we can cover every bit of it, especially in an hour. And so,
coming at 50,000 while you're in Dubai.
Right. Yes. They're coming in at all different levels, from starting with nothing to tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars. And none of this can be all addressed in one Zoom call, right? So you're going to have questions. And so what do? If you have questions, we arrange for a Q&A call. And that is where, see, this is the beauty for you. If you're coming in as a new person and you saying, there's no way that I can do this, I can't possibly know it all. This is why you keep the main thing, and you invite. And then you invite them to a Q&A call where somebody like us or Brian or Gary or Alfie or any number of the people that are on this call, some of these folks in here are experts in their field. They sit in on the call and they answer the questions for the person that you invited. And then guess what? You don't know the answers either, but you will at the end of the Q&A call. That's how you get your questions answered as well. And I know it sounds corny when we say earn while you learn, but that is exactly what happened. That's what happened with us. We knew nothing about the blockchain. Yep. We knew nothing about the blockchain. We knew nothing about how to build marketing teams and all of that. We didn't know how to do that, but we learned.
Did you guys generate last month?
Well, I'm not going to give you the exact number, but I will say this. It was well into 5 figures, and it was more money than we made in the previous 12 months combined. We made in 1 month. So I'll let you use your imagination on that. It paid for our Dubai trip and our Atlanta trip with plenty left over.
tier 5
and a tier 5 and filling. And so it's, you know, we didn't know anything when we started. We didn't have any money when we started, but we did have time, and we were hungry, and we were coachable. And so we were willing to put in the time. And like Lucky said, it works 100% of the time for the people, for 100% of the people that put in the time. So Lucky and I were sitting at the table one day talking to each other, and this was actually just a few months ago, and we were talking about the gamification. So how many of you have played the game Monopoly? Y'all know how that goes, right? One person wins at the expense of everybody else. So it's really only fun for one person, right? As they start picking people off, and God forbid you land on Park Place and there's a couple of hotels, because your time is done just like that. Kind of like what happened to us. We thought we had enough money saved up, and one event happened and it was all gone. Well, what if you could get in on a project that has gamification as one of its tenets? And what if one rule was changed in a game like Monopoly, where instead of one person winning at the expense of everybody else, what if the person that you brought in, every time you help them around the board and they pass go, guess what? They collect, but because you helped, you collect also. And when you help them acquire a property or an asset or even utilities, using the game, using the different parts of the game, every time that they use and they pay for parts of that game, guess what? They get paid, you get paid. And when you help when they help their other people and they invite people around, guess what? They get paid, and because you help them, you get paid as well. And this is how I see GS Partners and what is now expanding into Lydian world, is that it is changing the rules of the game. It changed that one rule, and it's made it so that not one person gets rich at the expense of everybody else, but we all can grow wealth through helping everybody else. You win when you help others win. And remember, when you get involved in this, we treat it as a business. You're doing this for yourself, but because that one rule is changed, you're never by yourself. Someone is always there to help you, and we're there to help you as well. So I just want to say thank you for attending, for coming in and hanging out with us on our Zoom call tonight. If someone invited you, the person that invited you, get back with the person that you invited right now. Talk to them, set up a Q&A call. Usher them in to GS Partners and let them take a look around with you so they're not left alone. Make sure that they're taken care of. And if you have questions, you know how to get a hold of us. And Lucky, did you want to post our flyer?
I don't know how to post a flyer. You can do that, but I will say this, for those who are already active members, tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern on AmazingLivingZoom.com. Don will put that in the notes or in the chat. AmazingLivingZoom.com at 7 p.m. tomorrow. Don and I are starting a masterclass for magnetic marketing and business success mindset that we have taught outside of this company, that we are now offering for free for anybody who is an active member in GS Partners. So if you're already in, join us tomorrow night. We're going to start. It's going to be probably an hour and a half tomorrow night. We're generally going to be an hour, but tomorrow's going to be a little bit longer because we're going to go over some of the ground rules and some of what you can expect, and a little bit of a disclaimer so that you know what you're going to expect from us over the next weeks and months to come. We're going to continue to do this as long as there is a need and desire, and as long as you all find this valuable.
We want to help everybody win.
We keep saying that we are going to revolutionize this business. In Dubai, we were met with Eric Worre, who had hinted at this, that the business is changing, that there is a shift taking place, that we are dealing with more sophisticated buyers now. We used to listen to the radio for 20, 30 minutes, and then there'd be like 2 or 3 commercials and the music would start. That was the old way. Today, you can't even turn on a YouTube video without watching the commercial first. We are being bombarded every single day by advertising, people saying, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this. And we're all so over that. We're all super sensitive. So we don't want to be bombarded with that anymore. And so people have changed, times have changed, and we're more sophisticated buyers than we used to be. So there has to be a new approach. And we're going to show you guys how to expand how we have. And it's not the way, it's just our way. And so there's many approaches to how to build your business. We're going to show you what we did to replace our income in 30 days, less than 30 days, and how we haven't gone to a job since. And so it's just our way. And if you're stuck,
We only have 3 conditions. Use your full name when you come in, be on camera. We want to see who we're talking to.
Yep.
And have a $33 paid membership. That's it. It doesn't benefit us. We don't get paid when you do that.
we want to
We
revolution.
just want you to be committed to the thing that we're committed to.
And we coming off of Dubai was insane. And there is a huge shift in the momentum that's taking place. And we are going to ride this. Want to come up?
Beauty Swiss. No, we're not going to go into too much on that.
No, well, yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yep.
But I just want you guys to know that we're going to be offering this for anybody who wants it, because we want to lift all the tide. Boats ride with the tide, right? We live on a boat. And so when the tide rises, it raises all boats. And so we want to help raise this company up. And so we're going to take some of our expertise that we've had. We've been trained in strategic intervention, human needs psychology, and also advanced skills. Just to give you an idea, we had sales training and marketing training this year from a gentleman who is or was the lead international hostage negotiator for the FBI. And his mindset is completely different than what we've traditionally think in terms of sales and marketing. And we're going to share all of this stuff with you guys. So if you really want to take your business, if you're stuck, if what you're doing is working, keep doing that, whatever that is. But if you're stuck, if you feel like you just can't get over this little hurdle and there's just something that just keeping you from getting over the edge,
You want to raise your game.
and you want to raise your game, you want to try something a little bit different that may just make all the difference the way it has for us,
Especially in your social media marketing.
especially in your social media marketing. Not only bring yourself, bring everybody on your team to this call, and then see how our process is a little bit different and how it might make sense for you. And if it does, it's Walmart. Take what works, leave what doesn't. When we go to Walmart, we don't eat most of the things in the store, but we know the things that are working, and we just start, and you can do the same thing. So I want to make sure that you guys know about that.
There's more coming out on BD Swiss. That's brand new.
BD Swiss is one of the world's largest top 10 trading platforms in the world. They do 220 billion, I think, a quarter, something ridiculous. We have a partnership with them. They were in Dubai as well, introducing themselves and what they're doing and what they're providing. We now have a partnership. So that's going to be massive. So anyway,
This will continue to come out on it.
tomorrow, let's see, tomorrow at 1 o'clock, we're going to be doing this presentation again. Only we'll be doing it on AmazingLivingZoom.com. That's also where the training is going to be. And that'll be at 1 o'clock. And we'll be doing that from our boat in Punta Gorda, Florida. And I think, is there anything that you have? Anybody? No?
No.
Okay, well, with that, guys, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at our call at 1 o'clock. If you have anybody that's interested in what we're doing and wants to know, does it work? Can they do it? And why they need to know it, then bring them tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And if you want to know about our masterclass, you want to get on the masterclass, bring everybody you can and take a listen. I think you're going to be excited to hear a different process. And with that, I want to say good night. Thank you for joining us. We love you guys, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.